Shutter speed refers to the amount of time the camera's shutter is open to allow light to reach the image sensor. It is expressed in seconds or fractions of a second, such as 1/60th of a second or 1/1000th of a second. The shutter speed you choose can have a big impact on the final image, as it can affect the amount of motion blur and the amount of light that reaches the image sensor. In general, a faster shutter speed, such as 1/1000th of a second, will freeze fast-moving action and reduce motion blur, while a slower shutter speed, such as 1/30th of a second, can create a sense of motion and blur any fast-moving subjects. It's important to choose the right shutter speed to achieve the desired effect in your photo. Keep in mind that the shutter speed you choose also affects the exposure of the image, along with the aperture and ISO setting. So, you'll often need to adjust one or more of these settings in order to achieve the desired exposure, taking into consideration factors such as the available light, the subject, and the desired creative effect. For fast-moving objects, you generally want to use a fast shutter speed to freeze the motion and reduce motion blur. A shutter speed of 1/500th of a second or faster is usually sufficient to freeze fast-moving action, but the exact shutter speed you need will depend on several factors, including the speed of the subject, the focal length of the lens, and the amount of available light. When photographing fast-moving objects, it's a good idea to start with a fast shutter speed and then adjust as needed based on your results. If you're still seeing too much motion blur, you can try using an even faster shutter speed. On the other hand, if the image is too dark, you may need to use a slower shutter speed and adjust the aperture and ISO to compensate. It's also worth noting that if you're using a longer lens, you may need to use an even faster shutter speed to counteract the effects of camera shake, as the longer the lens, the more pronounced the motion blur will be. In these situations, a fast shutter speed combined with a stable tripod or other support can help you get sharp, clear images of fast-moving subjects.